Hello, everybody. So, Sepagoth. This guy is quite literally infamous. They call him the one-man nuke. That's basically what he does. So, Sepagoth is more about the Warframe abilities than it is about the weapons, to be perfectly honest. However, there are some weapons that are better for him, specifically. One of them is the Prismagorgon. The reason why the Prismagorgon is important is because there's these interesting ability. When channeled ability is active, 3 punch through, 40% accuracy. Now, normally, you want punch through on the Gorgon, right? You need that. I get punch through from Shred, because I do like a little bit of fire rate. More fire rate is better, but the combination of punch through and fire rate's nice. Why do I have that there, though, you say? With the Incarnate ability, I shouldn't need it. But it only works on channel abilities. Now, Sevagoth has a channeled ability. Right there. So, the beautiful thing is there's other weapons that do that too. I mean, this is not the only one. There's a couple other Incarnates that have something similar. But I like the Gorgon. I mean, it's stupid. It is. The Epitaph Prime. Now, everybody knows this is Sevagoth's weapon. I mean, that's what it does. Its unique trait is extra headshot damage when wielded by Sevagoth. Now, I'm on Sevagoth, so this isn't a fair test, but I use this on a lot of other things, a lot of other frames. Believe it or not, it's pretty good. You just freeze everything, and then you shoot it in the head. This thing, I've, no joke, hit 20, 30, 40, 50 million on headshots with this. It's really good, especially if you put it on Frost, because you can mod it for cold like I've done, but it has its natural slowing ability, right? So, I mean, it just stacks it. And it's absolutely devastating. The thing is, though, I don't use it. Like, hardly ever. Instead, we use Shade Prime, right? We come over here. Now, I should, in theory, use Crepilosaur. And honestly, you get 30% less ability strength with it, though. And it doesn't ramp, it just, it's always there. So that's what I should use. I use the other one sometimes just to kind of test it out. It does nice, but the Final Critical, I mean, come on, that's where it's at. Arcane Energize, you need energy for the spam. Use the nuke, but you need to spam. He's also one of the only frames that uses both of these augments. Like, he used two augment mods. Most frames you only use one. And which one you use might depend on the build, actually. Most frames have multiple different builds just from the augments. In this case, both of these have synergy. So enemies killed while infected spread the infection. And then enemies infected with Death Harvest, new shadow emerges when they perish. So for every enemy with the infection killed, it spawns another shadow. And the shadow goes around and kills everything. Now, people tell me that I shouldn't be using Growing Power, that I should, in fact, using Summoner's Wrath, because this does actually boost Shadow's damage. It does. However, Shadow's a little bit different. This says companions and summon damage. So when you're summoning Sevagoth, it works, right? But Sevagoth is this weird frame where he's his own warframe inside of Sevagoth. Now, aside from these two that have an explosive effect, it makes clones of Shadow basically spawn around and melee everything to death. Okay. Which is really nice. The damage is based off of your ability strength, as you can clearly see here. Just the base damage, though. I say that because both Sevagoth and his claws that he uses to kill everything can be modded. Now, Archon Intensify, I use this because there's one ability that heals you. Lifesteal. I turn this on, I hit one enemy, and then I can recast it because I get an extra 30% ability strength. Kind of cool, right? That, growing power, you want those buffs up when you summon Sevagoth too, because he almost counts as a channeled ability, but he uses his own bar. He doesn't use your energy like a regular channel. He has his own energy bar, effectively. So, Undying Will is stupid important. Sevagoth has this ability. On death, Shadow jumps out, and he has to kill an X number of enemies. I think it's like 5 or so, and then it resurrects you. It's kind of like the user ability that does that. You jump out with your operator, kill a bunch of enemies. This ability actually replaces that. If you have the Yonaro res, you cannot use it with Sevagoth, because this ability just replaces it. But the Undying Will gives you extra time. The bleed out reduction lets Sevagoth have enough time, and sometimes you have enemies that are far away. You have to run to go get it, and sometimes even with Undying Will, you just don't have enough time. You just don't. So, insanely important. I can't stress the importance of this. If you're not using Undying Will, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Get it? More ability strength is the Nuke. And most Sevagoths, they go for Nuke. At any cost. Matter of fact, most Sevagoths, they don't use Flow or Equilibrium, because what they do is they cast Reap and Sow and Bloom one time. They activate Bloom, and then they cast Reap and Sow one time. And it cascades. It jumps from enemy to enemy. Each enemy that dies spawns a new Sevagoth. Right? You see the Sevagoth that's going through those enemies right now? If you have this mod on, each one of those, there'd be like 4 more Sevagoths that would spawn and go in random directions and kill everything. And each one spawns the Sow, so it skips the Sow to each one, and then each one spawns a new Sevagoth. So it cascades. You cast it one time with enough ability strength, you can kill a map. Like, if the enemies are close enough together, they will go from room to room to room, clearing a map. It's that good. Now, I use Equilibrium, I use Prime Flow, because I want to spam it. I just do. And I use it because the longer the effect lasts, believe it or not, the more it spreads like a plague to everything. So the further it goes. This is all very important. So, from there, Sevagoth. There's a lot of different ways you can actually build Shadow. being a different entity says that he works under different rules. You know, Warframe rules still, but he has his own abilities. Like, so he's another frame, literally. I put Umbrella on him because I wanted health and armor. This is a shield gating build, and yeah, shields recharge automatically after 0.3 seconds, and then it takes 1.3 seconds to refill. So there's a 2-second delay, but after 2 seconds, I get a full shields because my shields are only 35, and I get more than my maximum shields after 2 seconds. Actually, it's like 1.6, not quite 2 seconds, but you know, you get the point. But technically, there's a delay, which eats up a little bit more time, so I'm pretty sure 2 seconds is pretty close on the mark, believe it or not. It's probably more like 1.9 or something in reality. If you got lag, it could be longer. Lag sucks. The shield gating build requires fast deflection, catalyzing shields, vigilante vigor, arcane aegis. Some people, you know, use vigilante vigor, fast deflection, no catalyzing shields. You have a bigger shield pool, and it takes longer to charge. My full shields charge exactly in that time, and it's the quickest you can get it. Like, if catalyzing shield says you get 1.33, so I get the full shield gate. So every time a shield appears and is gone, I'm guaranteed 1.5 seconds of shield gate. So the window for my hitting is pretty small. Like, theoretically, like 0.2 to 0.4 or 5, depending on your latency, stuff like that too. But I mean, come on. You do the math. Have fun with that. I've tested it. It tests at a little bit different. Like, it says that, but believe me, it's not exact. It's a little bit longer, just a touch. Now, the shadow. Also, oh, sorry. My bad. And the other one I use is this. He's melee centric, so attack speed is nice. Rush for sprint speed. I really want to reform him, I think, and put prime period footed. I mean, it's good. Rush gives you a little bit sprint speed though, and you know that's when you're trying to res Sevagoth, getting to your next enemy could be the problem. Like, getting knocked down wastes time too, believe it or not. But I try to curb all that. The reason why I haven't switched it is because I built him for a slam attack. Like, he's actually not half bad. I've got slam attack weapons that do like 50k, right? So 21k is not bad. I mean, 70% of that in a 9-meter radius. If you just spam slam attack, that's basically what I do. It knocks enemies over, knocks enemies down. You keep mobile, so it's harder to be hit. You're using a shield gating build, which is absolutely key. Because if you get hit too quickly, there's that window where you could die. The trick is not to get hit during that window. You can do this too. Like, now, I've been monkeying with it. But when you do a Disciples Merit build, you have no attack speed with this. Like, none. Right? So, pretty much, what I do is dispatch overdrive. The only reason it's not there now is because Forma. you know, the it's a thing, right? I'm going to form it. Trust me. See, I even have the formas. They're right there. I have a lot of forma. I have a lot to forma. There's a lot on the list. Now, other than that, he's pretty baller. My abilities, my prime weapons and all that good jazz. That's nice. Rack the Dark Dagger. He's a shield gator, so Rack the Dark Dagger says, you know, I shield gate you. My melee attack heals your shields. That's really good. But I can sit here and shoot all these guys in the face with my weapons, and they're impressive. They are. Or, or, I can come over here, get some energy. Come over here. Like catty corner. And then just absolutely decimate level 175 Eximus units. Like, they're nothing. Sevagoth, everyone. Have a good day.